Hello, my name is Minzy, and this is my granddad's tie, God rest his soul. I'll talk about the Nottingham Forest Chelsea game in a bit, but as a man that's working in Liverpool, and I've always been grateful to the Liverpudlians for allowing me to carry out my dream to work in the profession that I am working in currently. I have to address the big elephant in the room, which is the tragic events of what happened on Monday. Um, it was supposed to be a joyous occasion for the people of Liverpool who have gone through a tough time. They've been through too much. Obviously, 2020, when they won the league, they couldn't really celebrate because of the COVID. And then this was the one time in which, in front of their supporters, they were given the time of their lives by having the Premier League title return back to Anfield. And it was supposed to be a joyous time for all family, friends, and anyone else that was connected with Liverpool Football Club to just go out and finally celebrate something that they deserved. I went to the Liverpool City Centre on Sunday night with my mate to link up with my friend who's a die-hard Liverpool fan, and just seeing the emotions run through his face um, at Liverpool's success. You can see it in his face, like the way he was expressing himself, how happy and emotional that he personally got when he got to see Liverpool win the title and lift the Premier League at Anfield and equal Manchester United's 20. You can tell how much it meant to him, and you can tell the emotional joy in his face. And I wanted to actually celebrate in his joy, really, because it was also a happy moment for me as well. And, it was a positive night. I got to also celebrate with them. All right. It was wonderful seeing the joy, the flares, the singing, the dancing, the string, you name it all. You name it all. It was a wonderful thing to see and to be a part of, you know? And they deserved it. And you wanted the people of Liverpool to actually genuinely enjoy Monday, the trophy parade that was going through whatever route that it was taken. And instead, you see one Pratt and a car doing what he did. Is there any point in enjoying ourselves anymore? Are we even safe in, just going out to celebrate our team's success? I don't know anymore. I don't know if it's a safe world out there anymore. I like to think it is. At the end of the day, this country gave me so much, and I want to give back to what this country gave me at the end of the day. But it just seems like as the day progresses, it's just getting more and more sadder that one can't enjoy something as simple as watching your own team celebrate a Premier League trophy. I don't know what to say anymore, really. Listen, investigations are ongoing. I can't really comment, but what a twat to that guy. Just why? Maybe we don't even want to know why. But You're a dickhead, bruv. You're an absolute twat. I can't understand why you did what you did. There was no need for it. There was, I, you know what? We just don't want to know anymore, man. Let the investigations run its course and hope they throw the book at you, you prick. But my thoughts are with the Liverpool supporters today. They didn't deserve that. Whatever happened to them, it was supposed to be a day of celebration. My colleagues, my friends were all there. And rather than have a joyous celebration, they were instead seeing that, like I said, what a bellend. Anyways, fuck him. Let the book be thrown at him. Now, onto the game. To be honest, I didn't really want to make this video now. I would have rather have made it a week later. But I had to make it now purely because it's the Conference League final and I needed to make the video before that Conference League final. So let's talk about it as best as we can, really. And like I said, it was a phenomenal result for Chelsea. If you gave me two options of would you rather lose the game against Nottingham Forest and get out of the Champions League top 5 but then win the Conference League, or would you have it the other way around? I'll take it. I'll take finishing 4th. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would have taken finishing 5th, but we finished 4th instead and lose the Conference League trophy. Of course, we're greedy. We want to win everything. Let everything come our magnificent way. But I'll take 4th. I'll take 4th. It was a grand achievement. Let's just go to the game itself. Overall, it felt like I was watching the Chelsea of Jose Mourinho time. Those professional, grinding out a 1-0 win success. You know, it reminded me of that game. It was like, as Matisse was saying, that it reminded him of, you know, the boys turning into men sort of thing. You know, it is the youngest Chelsea squad ever. And to do what they did on Sunday was nothing short of exceptional. All right, thank goodness I got my prediction wrong. I said we will lose to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest will take a Champions League spot away from Chelsea. They will finish in the Champions League and we will finish in the UEFA Europa League position. That is what I had predicted. Thank goodness it did not happen. It was a case of really... I know Chelsea have only won one away game in the Premier League this calendar year, which was Fulham. But I suppose if there was any team in the top 6 you want to play to make sure you qualify for the Champions League, it was sadly Nottingham Forest. Likewise, Nottingham Forest would have said to themselves as well, if there's anyone you want to play at home on the final game of the season, it was Chelsea. And I remember I was saying to my mate that, you know what, if I was any other fan, I would be praying and I would be begging Nottingham Forest to win their game, because I want to see Nottingham Forest in the Champions League. I really do. For the season they've had, they deserve to be there, but it's not who you want to see in the Champions League. It ultimately does fall into who deserves to be there, and Chelsea does on this occasion deserve to be there because they actually played like men. It's one of those where if it was 30, 40 years ago under Brian Clough, Nottingham Forest would have beaten Chelsea and would have been in the Champions League, but this is this time around. And unfortunately, Chelsea have been in those situations where when push comes to shove, when it is the big moments, Chelsea have always somehow managed to grind one out. I can assure you, nobody wanted to see Chelsea in the top four. Nobody. Fucking nobody. I could tell what the headlines would have said. It was as if Matisse said it himself. It would have been Chelsea spent millions and millions and millions and have flopped even qualifying for the Champions League. You wouldn't have heard the end of it. Nobody wanted to see Chelsea in the Champions League. So for them to, put the negativity of the press behind them and actually concentrate on the game, it's just something that I can see Chelsea doing because I've seen them do it before. They always have to do it the hard way. They always have to grind it out the hard way, but they've done it. And they done it with absolute professional aplomb. Like I said, it looked like I was watching a Chelsea of the Mourinho time. It was magnificent. It was a thoroughly professional job. Yes, in the first half, were we lucky that Chris Wood, scooped a shot over the bar. Had that gone in, had they gone in 1-0 up just before half-time, would it have changed the game? Would they have held out for a 1-0 win or 2-0 win? Who knows? That is the what-ifs, but thankfully we got in at half-time 0-0. I mean, technically I was kicking myself that Pedro Neto never scored because he really messed up that chance. He actually fluffed his line. He really should have scored, but hey, 0-0. It's fine. So long as he didn't concede a goal, it's still fine. And then came the second half, and this is where we actually generally did win it, because just before that goal went in, I saw Chelsea pushing. Because in the first half, they weren't going for it. They weren't putting it full throttle. They just conserved, kept it tight, made sure they didn't do anything stupid, all right, except for the Chris Wood thing. But they kept it as tight as possible. It was only at the start of the second half that they started putting in a bit of pressure, and they were just about pushing Nottingham Forest back enough. And then came the goal that changed everything. It was a £15 million thank you for participating in the Champions League goal. All right, cross came in, headed back out. Cucurella flicked it back into the box, and it just went above the head of Nico Williams, and Pedro Neto raced through. He put the ball across the box, and Levi Colwill, almost like a goal scorer himself, almost like Van Nistelrooy himself, and I've had a go at fucking Levi Colwill for being a Bengali, bruv. I've had a massive go at him for being a Bengali. Being weak, not being smart enough. Always losing out possession quite cheaply and pathetically. But for once, he behaved like a Van Nistelrooy. For once, he behaved like a proper poacher, and converted himself from a centre-back to a centre-forward, for Christ's sakes. Knocked it into the back of the net. Boy, did I go fucking wild with delight. I was absolutely going berserk. You wouldn't hear the end of my screams in Merseyside. I can assure you, I was absolutely going ballistic at going 1-0 up. And to our credit, we held a great defensive line. Nottingham Forest could not beat us. We did the Nottingham Forest over them. We did this. We did the trick over them. It's sad because if this was a game played in January, February, I can assure you Nottingham Forest would have won that game. But they had to play us when they were in a slump, and they couldn't do anything. They only had that one chance towards the end where Chris Wood flicked it over the bar, but by this point it was all academic. Even out that goal gone in, it was like, the last 2 minutes of the game. Wouldn't have really mattered. The game would have finished 1-1, but at start he flicked it over the bar. And I think with that, you can tell the Nottingham Forest fans, the players, their heads dropped. Instead of the Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest, they got the Chris Wood of Newcastle under bloody Steve Bruce. You know, it is what it is for them. It is what it is for them. I do feel slightly sad that they didn't get into the Champions League. But hey, business is business. Fuck the sympathy. Fuck all of that. I'm a greedy con. I want to see my beloved Blues playing in the echelons of the European competition. I don't want to see Chelsea in the Conference League. I don't want to see them play Dhaka Dynamites at Liverpool's fucking minefield of a stadium, or go all the way across to fucking, I don't know, bloody Cambodia to play Lagos FC. I'm making up shit as I go along, to be honest with you. But no, enough of the Conference League. None of that exotic journey, bruv. None of that exotic journey. Fuck you, Man United, you bunch of dickheads, for winning the FA Cup last season and making us go to these fucking bizarre locations across the globe to play a European tie. Fuck you lot. Fuck you lot. I'm enjoying your demise, bruv. Fuck you lot, bruv. Dickheads. Nah. Give us the Champions League. Give us the fruits of our fucking labour, bro. I'm gonna be a taker. I've done enough. I've had enough of watching giving. It's now time to take some takings. And quite frankly, I am taking fourth spot. How the fuck we finished fourth? I fucking never know. We don't deserve to be fourth. But thank you, Everton, as well. Everton and Aston Villa actually sorted us out nicely. They really did. You know what it was? I think it was the fact that, what am I saying? Everton and Aston Villa sorted us out nicely. It was Everton and Manchester United, funny enough, sorted us out nicely. I think when Man United, I realised that Emiliano Martinez got sent off for Aston Villa. I think I got a little bit more comfortable, because then I felt like Man United were going to go get that goal. And when they went 1-0 up against Aston Villa, I felt a lot more at ease, because I was like, there's only two teams that can go above us, and it's Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. We are doing our bits, and Aston Villa were losing theirs. And then when Everton beat Newcastle, it made it even more safer for us. We got even more comfortable. So those results have helped us, you know. As an Aston Villa fan, are you feeling robbed? You probably feel like it. I know if I was an Aston Villa fan, I'd be fucking fuming, fam. Fucking fuming. How on earth Martinez got sent off for that? I can assure you, if the shoe was on, if it was on the other foot, I could guarantee you Onana wouldn't have been sent off. They would have been like, now, he put the ball too far to the side. Bit of a difficult angle to score. Yeah, I can't quite see how Watkins will score from there, or whoever the striker is. You know, let's chalk the red card into a yellow card. You know, the fact that it was Aston Villa player at Manchester United, they're like, you know what, fuck it, send the fucker off. Send the fucker off. It's a foul, don't get me started. It was an awful back pass from Matty Gas. I don't know why he played a brain-dead pass. I don't know why Martinez even attempted to rush like the way he did. He took out Ireland. It was a tactical foul, but it wasn't a red card foul, even if he was the last man. That ball was not dead centre of goal. I don't know if Ireland would have scored that, considering the season he had. So I don't think that was right at all. Also, when they went 1-0 up, why did the referee blow early? They're all trained to, you know, blow after the fucking artifact. You know, it could have been reviewed by VAR had he kept his mouth nowhere near his whistle. Honestly, if I was a Villa fan, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. And I do sympathise with some of them calling the Premier League corrupt. Think how Everton fans feel, and having their continuous points deduction for being £2.50 short of their fucking McDonald's Big Mac meal, eh? So yeah, unlucky for them, considering the season they had in the Champions League. I think they have every right to feel aggrieved, but as somebody else pointed out, maybe Aston Villa are probably favourites for the Europa League, so maybe there's something there to look forward to. But yeah, we finished fourth. I got to celebrate. I got to celebrate with my boy Kyle, massive Liverpool fan, as I said. And we got to share in some success, man. We got to share in some good success. Yeah, I got a little bit too plastered for my own liking on Sunday. And Kyle, you're a naughty boy. You tried to get me more plastered. You fucking legend. Like I said, I hope to see a Chelsea-Liverpool semi-final clash in the UEFA Champions League or in any knockout phase. It would mean the world just to see that live for me at Anfield, and for me to sit with the Chelsea fans and watch another classic European side. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the UEFA Champions League next season with Liverpool, with Arsenal, with Manchester City, with Newcastle United, and with Tottenham Hotspur. It's been a good weekend. It was a good weekend. And I'll leave it with that as a positivity. As for the Conference League, Real Betis versus Chelsea, I predicted that Real Betis would win with Anthony in his prime form. Do I see any other result other than a Real Betis win? Hopefully, inshallah, I see a Chelsea win. Like I said, I'm a greedy cunt. I want success. I am fed up of watching Chelsea give it away. It's now time to take it away. All right? None of that shit of giving. None of that shit of giving. It's now about taking. We take what's rightfully ours. And inshallah, sorry, excuse me, a bit gassy there. Inshallah, Chelsea will beat Real Betis. They will claim the UEFA Conference League. And we can truly and defiantly say we have truly won it fucking all. But until then, I'll see you for Wednesday. Peace.